phone. You cannot. Oh, come on. Hey! Get off of her! Get off of her!
A father and his two children are detained by ICE in Durango, Colorado, while that father was on his way to take those two kids to school. And what follows are days filled with protests that turn violent. And now the Colorado Bureau of Investigation is investigating after video shows an officer taking a protester's phone, throwing it, grabbing her by the neck, and body slamming her to the ground. I'm Micah Smith, and I'm a journalist with Denver 7. Let's dive into it. This all started on Monday morning when 45-year-old Fernando Jaramillo Solano says he was taking his two kids to school, his 15-year-old son and 12-year-old daughter. According to activists who are assisting this family, they say that agents were actually looking for a suspect in a drug trafficking case, but saw this family, pulled them over, and decided to detain the father, that is 45-year-old Fernando Jaramillo Solano. Activists say the father yelled out that he had two kids in the car with him. Those two children were detained as well. According to activists, the mom was not on the scene. However, she is seeking asylum, and so given her legal status, she was afraid to go to the scene. ICE says that they offered to release the two kids to the mother. The mother says given her status, according to activists, she was afraid that if she went to retrieve her children, she too would be detained, and then there would be no one left in the family outside of detainment that could really fight this case. According to city officials with the city of Durango, they too tried to step in, and Durango police actually tried to facilitate the return of the two kids to the mother and were told by ICE that it was too late. They also heard reports of really terrible conditions inside of this ICE building, which is not an ICE processing center, not officially. And so the city of Durango says that police tried to do a welfare check and were denied that as well. Almost immediately after this happened, there was a call out to all community members to meet outside of the ICE building there in Durango. A lot of people showed up, dozens and dozens of people, and they started to protest. Those protesters at some points were blocking the roadway, were confronting officers there on the scene. We did hear that at one point things really did turn violent, and we do have video of the scene to kind of show you how that went. This was taken by Tiffany Chacon, and you can really see how tensions are rising there. Now, according to Tiffany, who was on the ground there, she is also with the La Plata Food Equity Coalition. She says a lot of the instigating started on the federal agent side of things. She said they were grabbing people by the arm, neck, head, twisting them around, dragging them on the ground. They were shooting people in the face with pepper spray and bullets, and it was just a very, very tense situation. And that leads us to overnight protests when this was captured on camera. A woman holding her phone, trying to record an officer. The officer grabs her phone, throws it, camera pans away. And when the camera pans back to the situation, you see the officer has the woman by the neck and eventually slams that woman to the ground. As the Colorado Bureau of Investigation looks into that incident, Governor Jared Polis, Senator Michael Bennet, city leaders in Durango have all condemned what happened. They say that they are very concerned about the welfare of the family and that they just want some transparency from ICE. Compañeros Four Corners Immigrant Resource Center, that nonprofit is actually helping this family through the legal process. They did confirm with me that Fernando Jaramillo Solano has been transferred to the Dilley, Texas facility, ICE facility there. It is a family detention center, and the nonprofit did confirm that the two children are with him at this time. This is a story that has a lot of layers to it and continues to grow and gather steam. A lot of people are speaking out and speaking about this. I will say that we did get a statement from ICE confirming that Fernando Jaramillo Solano is in custody. They say he came into the country illegally in last December, near San Diego. They say he is from Colombia. They also claim that protesters were chaining the fence of the property near that ICE building in Durango, and according to ICE, they say this does not help their case. This does not help the people that the protesters are trying to help. ICE also says that they do respect the First Amendment and right for peaceful protests, but they say that a lot of these protesters are getting ICE's mission wrong. So again, a big story out of Durango, Colorado this week, something I thought you might want to know about.